Hey, geography. This is for quiz for 3.4. This is about daily life and cultures. I'm sorry, it's super bright. Like super bright. The lights are just not very good. I look more normal back here. Should I sit back here, guys? Come closer to the light. Whoa. All right. Blend in with my shirt. Okay. All right, so this is talking about culture, right? This unit 3 is about culture. So daily life and cultures. So what a culture is it's your way of life, it's food, it's your language, your dress, your traditions, your values, like all of that stuff all together. That's your culture. Okay, that's what the definition of culture is. Um, One big thing, in order to understand other people, other cultures, you must understand that people grow up in different places than you do. So when where you grow up, you're used to the people around you and the traditions and the values of the people around you. Another complete other part of the world, they're used to something different. Some people would never eat the way that we eat. You know, some people would never dance the way that we dance. Um, so you know, if we think that different traditions and methods that other cultures do are really weird, well, guess what? They're going to be thinking the same thing about your culture. They're going to say, well, why would they do this? That's so weird. And I can guarantee that you'll have something you'll say about their culture that you're like, that is so weird. Why would they do that? And so understanding that just because you think that theirs is weird doesn't mean that that's weird to them, is normal to them. Every religion that you see, there's going to be something that is weird to you, and it's the same way that people think about your culture. So if I said religion just then, I meant culture. Same thing. Religion is part of culture. So um, and I think one of the most amazing things about cultures is different cultures give the world a flavor. And I think it's really cool. I especially I love learning about other cultures. I love seeing the things that they do, the way that they dress, their traditions, their values. I think it's really exciting to learn more about other different cultures. That's just me. Um, so I definitely agree with this. That I mean, if we were all the same, if we all had the same culture, we um, the world wouldn't be as exciting. I think it would be more boring if everybody was just like us. I think it makes it exciting that people are so different from each other. I think it's great. And the key is when you're thinking about other cultures, you have to approach it with an open mind. If you're so closed off and thinking that your culture is the best culture ever, even if you really do think it is, but if that's like the only thing that you're thinking in your mind, and when you approach another culture, you say, "Oh, that's weird. I don't care about that religion. I don't want to hear anymore. They're just weird." You know, you're closing your mind off. Um, you can make life so much more richer if you would just open your mind when you think about other cultures. That is the biggest reason why hatred, discrimination, racism, that's why they exist, is because they're not coming to these new people with an open mind. Learning about others definitely makes you more well-rounded and more tolerant of other people. So, you know, the more different cultures you know about, the more you'll understand them. And that's the biggest thing, is you're more tolerant of them because you understand them better, because you are, you know, learning about them. So that is definitely a big plus, to learn about other cultures. So with family structures, um, depending on your culture, you might have a completely different family structure than what you're used to. So there's some family structures I know, like in Mexico, it's really, oh, baby, it's really common to see a multi-generational family in one household. So what that means is it's not just like the parents and kids, it's kids, parents, and grandparents. So I mean, it's super important, as well as it's common to see not only just within one household, but households by each other, or in one like little area by each other, of like aunts and uncles and everybody in your extended family all living in one area close to each other. I know that just me learning about the Native culture, how when you guys say cousin, it doesn't mean like literal cousin. Growing up, to me, a little cousin was like they were your literal cousin. Even if they're like second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin, but they were still your cousin, right? So like it, it's a culture thing. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Make more people be like family, which is always a plus, I think. So you'll not only see multi-generational families, but you also see single parent families, no birth parent families, blended families that's starting to become more popular, where you have, yours, mine, and ours kind of thing, where you have all these families. My husband, his parents got divorced, so he has one full brother. He has 2 step siblings, and he has 4 half siblings. So his mom remarried, and his stepdad had 2 kids of his own, and his dad remarried, and his dad and his stepmom together had 4 kids. So it's a big blended family, and it's fun. So lots of different types of families. And one thing that's important to know is there's no typical standard family in America. There's so many different types of families that I just mentioned. So there's not like, this is the typical family in America. No, it's not. We're so blended because we have so many different cultures in our country. And that's what makes us, like, there is no typical American family. Other cultures, other countries, you can say, yeah, this is the typical family. Like I mentioned with Mexico. That doesn't mean everybody's like that. It just means it's common. Okay. I'm going to show you guys, these are different types of marriage structures. So there we go. This is on your Apex. So we have monogamy, polygamy, and serial monogamy. Okay. I really hope it looks like it's showing now. Okay. It takes a second to share the screen. So monogamy, you have one marriage partner that you live with. Pure monogamy is you have that partner for the rest of your life, and if you do get divorced, you don't remarry. You only marry once. Okay. The difference between monogamy and serial monogamy is more modern, I guess. More people are doing serial monogamy. You're only married to one person at a time. You only have a relationship with one person at a time. But if you divorce, you can get remarried. And polygamy is where you obviously, as it shows in the picture, you have multiple wives or multiple spouses. Next thing I want to do is I want to share with you guys this video clip that is on Apex, because I think it's pretty good as soon as we get there. Here we go. So this is showing rates, so statistical facts about marriage and fertility. So here we go. We're going to play it right now.
The average age when people marry varies from country to country. In Mexico, the average age at marriage is much lower than in the United States. The average is highest in Scandinavian countries. In Denmark, the average age of marriage is about 10 years higher than it is in Mexico. In countries where the average marriage age is low, family life and marriage are more important than other values such as education, experimentation, or individualism. People prioritize marriage, and they marry before turning to other things. Additionally, the gender gap in average age also tells about the different cultural expectations of men and women. Another big demographic difference among countries is the fertility rate. This is the average number of children each woman gives birth to. Fertility rates vary from country to country, and also among women with different levels of education. More highly educated women tend to have fewer children, even after correcting for the fact that highly educated women marry later.
All right. So that's just some interesting things that I wanted to make sure you guys were able to watch that video, just in case you didn't actually do any of the studying on Apex. Oh, there's something else I wanted to show you. So some other vocabulary that you need to know is what nuclear family and extended family mean. So let me show you this picture as an example. One of them is a nuclear family and one is an extended family. So hopefully it's obvious. Nuclear family is on the right, extended family is on the left. Okay. And then we have a different term that you may have not heard before, but you know about it, a fictive family. It kind of sounds like fiction, which means false. So the reason why it's called fictive family is because they're people who you consider family, but they're not actual blood family. So like if you have family friends that are so close that basically it's like, oh, hey, Uncle John, they're not really your uncle, but you call them uncle because they're so close to you. That's a fictive family member, okay? And then we have clans and tribes, which is basically, it's more than just the extended family. It's like extended family, plus other people who have been like adopted in and brought in. Basically, the clan or the tribe is a large group of people that they're very similar. Blood is similar within a lot of them, but also just values, what's important, what they do. So everywhere there's so many different cultures even today that they identify as within a certain clan or a certain tribe. Okay. Obviously you have the Northern Ute tribe, right? The reason why they are a tribe is because blood is very a factor that is similar, or not, that's not the right word. That is, I can't remember the word. Common, a factor that is common among everybody in the tribe. So they could be distantly related. They share the same values and traditions. So that's what that came from. Now going on to religion. People use religion as a way to answer questions about life, like where did we come from? Why are we here? What is the purpose? Where are we going after we're done here? So religion does really well with people when they're trying to answer those questions. I don't know what you just said. What'd you say? Okay. One thing I think is really interesting is different religious creation stories. So you may know of creation story if you know of your specific tribe's creation story, basically how the beginning came to be. It could be story of the beginning, but like there's so many creation stories that you'll just see there's like going to be a hint of that creation story that's similar to one that you've heard of or you personally believe in. I just read there's one on Apex about a tribe in, I think, Mali. I can't remember. I might be totally off. Where they're from. Maybe there was a Russian. Maybe it was a Russian creation story. I think it starts with the name with the letter M. Anyways, but it talked about certain people who were very, spiritual. They breathed life. They made clay people, and they breathed life into them. I've heard of native creation stories that are like that. So there's so many. The more creation stories you hear, this is what I have found out. The more creation stories that I've heard, the more that I can find similarities between them. Like, oh yeah, I've heard about that in this story. That's cool. They both kind of think the same thing. There are. Now, I don't agree with how Apex has this set up, but they talk about 5 major religions. There's other religions that have more followers than the 5 that they specifically mention, but because they're going to make you do a quiz on it, I'm only going to talk to you about those 5 that are on there, okay? All right, and it does show you on Apex a little bit about these 5 religions. And how they started, what the beginning was like. So I'm going to share this with you just to make sure that you got this, because I think that there's going to be some questions about this on the quiz. So right here, Here we go. Judaism. So Judaism originated with the Hebrews, and they were a nomadic tribe descended from the Indo-Europeans who migrated to the Fertile Crescent, which is here, thousands of years ago. The area was populated by polytheists, basically people who believed in more than one god. And Judaism was a monotheistic religion where they believed in one god. So they didn't have a lot of people, and even today they don't have a lot of people. It's still considered a major religion because it helped found Christianity and Islam, and this is the reason why it's still widely considered. Okay, and one of those, Christianity. So it kind of branched off from Judaism, and that's common. You'll find a religion that is branched off of another religion. Basically, they followed Jesus of Nazareth. They believed him to be the Son of God and the Savior. They believe in a Bible. And the Romans persecuted the Christians, but the religion grew until it became the main belief system in the empire. The main belief system, by the 3rd century, the emperor converted, and Christianity then spread throughout Europe and North Africa. Since then, it's been transplanted to the world. It is now the #1 religion in the whole world with the number of followers. Okay, next one. So we've got Islamic Empire, mostly throughout here, very strong hold right here. We've got, Judaism, that their birth centers right here. So we've got, the writings at the top. Okay, so it's the youngest, the most recent of the 5 religions. It has origins with Christianity and Judaism. They believed in Muhammad. They believed he was part of the prophet line, including Moses and Jesus, who are people that Christians believe in. And they believe that all of them were chosen to reveal the faith. They believe that Jesus is not the savior like Christians did, but they believe that he was just another prophet, and Muhammad is yet another prophet who came and taught them what they were supposed to do. Let's see. The map below just showed the expansion. It spreads to all over the world. It's all over the world. The believers of Islam are called Muslim. They gather in mosques and they pray to receive instruction. So that's Islamic faith here. Let's go back up. Hinduism, you have a picture right here. So it's the Aryan people who migrated east from the Caucasus Mountains. Always have to think about that word. And traveled to India. Okay. They do things called the Vedas. They settled in India. The Vedic traditions blended with tribal beliefs in the natives grew into modern Hinduism. Though there are Hindus throughout the world, the bulk of Hindus live in South Asia. Definitely hit point of India is the most, where most of them live. And lastly, just say with the belly, we've got Buddhism. So Siddhartha Gautama, he is basically the Buddha. He focused on ending human suffering, doing things to make people happy and peace and just, calmness, right? Meditation is an important part of Buddhism. Is mostly in Asia. I know that in China, there's a lot of offshoots of Buddhist teachings. Okay. Let's see. There's one thing that I want to show you. I think it's on the next page. I want to show you the distribution of where the religions are at today. Here we go. So you can see where they are at. So right here, Islam is green. So North Africa and its stronghold right here. There are different types, of each of these religions, but they could, there's always offshoots of different ones. Christianity, most of the North and South Americas are Christian, as well as Europe and Russia. Okay, and we have a lot of this area and this area because these were settled by Europeans very much. So obviously that'd have a strong hold on it. Here we've got Hinduism. We've got the Chinese religion, which actually has more followers definitely than Judaism. And we've got Buddhism in there as well. There's a lot of Chinese religion has a lot of Buddhist teachings within it. So there are your different sections of where the religions are at in the world, so you know where they're coming from. And very last thing that I'm going to share with you is eating was really important. I know everybody's got to eat, but eating is definitely super important for a lot of different cultures. You have people who they make it part of their religion and their traditions to eat at things. So when there's a holiday or a celebration, they're going to be eating with it. So basically, no matter what culture you're talking about, they're going to be, they have traditions that they'll be eating. So that's really important in there. So that's it for 3.4. So let me know if you guys have any questions. See ya.